What happens if you put Zootopia and the Space Jam movies into the blender? Simple. You get Sony Animation's new movie, GOAT. This movie follows a goat named Will, who aspires to be like his inspiration, Jed Fillmore, and become the greatest of all time at a basketball-like sport named Rollerball. So I saw Sony Pictures Animation's new theatrical flick called GOAT in Cinemark XD at my local Cinemark theater, and I gotta say, surprise, surprise, this movie is pretty goated. Allow me to explain why this movie is so good, in my opinion. 1. Just like the Spider-Verse duology, The Mitchells vs. the Machines, and K-pop Demon Hunters, all of which were produced by Sony Animation, the animation is well crafted. I love how campy and surreal the animation on the characters looks, especially with how they move, pose, and jump in several scenes throughout the movie. It's sort of giving me Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutant Mayhem vibes, and that's a compliment. 2. The story, which is essentially an underdog sports movie with a goat as the main protagonist having a strong motivation to be a professional athlete, is not half bad. It is perfectly decent for what it's worth. I'm not saying the story is Oscar tier complex, but rather meticulously entertaining. 3. It has a cool set of characters such as Will Harris, Jet Fillmore, Modo, Archie, and etc. Will's character arc, where he goes from an amateur and undersized goat who has big dreams to be the best at rollerball to a key professional athlete in the Thorns team that overcomes skepticism, is so exciting to watch. All the conflicts, challenges, and the positive outcomes that the characters have to face are what make this movie so special. 4. The cinematography is energetically insane. It is crazy how much time and effort the filmmakers at Sony Pictures Animation put into creating the cinematography at various scenes in the movie, especially the Rollerball game sequences. Like, they are so crazy to the point where I get excited and root for the Thorns to win the playoffs. 5. The voice acting is great all around. Caleb McLaughlin did a really good job at voicing our main protagonist Will Harris, and so does Gabriel Union as Jed Fillmore, Will Harris's big inspiration to be an athlete. Also, I love how Nick Kroll, who voiced Uncle Fester in the Addams Family animated movie, and David Harbour, who played Red Guardian from Thunderbolts, played Modo and Archie in this movie, respectively. 6. The humor is somewhat crazy, but infectiously fun. While you do have some jokes that only little kids would probably laugh at, like that one fart joke in the middle of the movie, which I confess, I was guilty for laughing at that fart joke. But you also have a fair share of jokes and moments that older audiences would get the vibe, like scenes where some characters try to playfully roast each other. Oh, and you can't have an animated movie focusing on a goat without the screaming goat sound. 7. The world building is so unique, even for Sony Pictures animation standards. If I were one to describe the world the filmmakers have created for GOAT, I would easily dub it as a fusion between Zootopia and the Space Jam movies. 8. The music score by Chris Bowers, who composed the score for the DreamWorks movie The Wild Robot, is quite pleasant to hear. Aside from the score, the soundtrack is nice. If there is one song that I would consider the best, it would easily be Main Attraction's diss track against Will called Goat Tears. I know Main Attraction is sort of an a-hole and all, but I was bopping to it when I first heard it. 9. It has an encouraging and positive message about teamwork and sportsmanship. This movie has more than just a linear dream big message. It has messages about understanding your self belief and proving that your size does not have to define worth. Only dedication and courage can. And 10. The opening logo variants in the beginning of the movie go pretty hard, even if there are minor changes. The Sony logo is shown in the style of a basketball scoreboard before it transitions to the Torch Lady in the Columbia Pictures logo, wearing a Thorns jersey and spinning a roar ball. Finally, the Sony Pictures animation logo showed up in the rhythm of the crowd chanting, "Who's the team?" And yeah, that is about it. Although I love this movie, I need to point out a few flaws that would make me say, "Time out!" like a basketball coach. Even though there isn't much, there are some notable product placements for Mercedes-Benz cars, or if you take it the wrong way, Nikes and PS5s. In addition, the way the filmmakers handled the third act misunderstanding trope on Will and Jed Fillmore felt a bit too quick. They only part ways for only about 5 minutes before they get the Thorns back together. And lastly, main attraction and, to a lesser extent, Flo can be unconventionally unlikable at times. But hey, that's just me. Overall, GOAT is GOATED. This movie is undoubtedly a new part of Sony Pictures Animation's big achievements after K-pop Demon Hunters, Vivo, The Mitchells vs. the Machines, and the Spider-Verse duology. If you enjoy both sports or watching sports on television and animated movies centering around anthropomorphic animals, then I strongly recommend you guys to go see GOAT in theaters. In conclusion, this movie be ballin'. I give GOAT a solid 9 out of 10. Thanks for watching my review on Sony Pictures Animation's GOAT. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.